two poems written in two different languages about the trauma and dilemma of partition. Now, people in Kerala are far away from partition. I am a little closer in Bangalore, but still very distant from the real epicenters of partition, which were northern and eastern India, and to some extent western India too. And partition, that event of August 1947, what preceded it, what came after it, the terrible religious violence and the suffering of the refugees has been memorialized, immortalized in dozens of books, scholarly books, political tracts, novels, but also in poetry. And poetry has a way of distilling complex experiences in a few telling words. And I shall read you two excerpts from poems about partition. The first poem is by the great Urdu poet Faiz Ahmad Faiz. And it's an excerpt from his poem Subah-e-Azadi, The Dawn of Freedom, and it's translated by the historian V.G. Kiernan, who's a British historian who in the 30s and 40s taught in Government College Lahore and picked up enough Urdu to translate not only Faiz but also Guha. In fact, the two canonical English language collections of the poetry of Faiz and Guha are translated by V.G. Kiernan. So this is a translation of a section of Faiz's poem Subah-e-Azadi. I read, this leprous daybreak, dawn's fangs have manged. This is not that longed for day, not that clear dawn in quest of which our comrades set out, believing that in heaven's wide void, somewhere must be the star's last halting place. Somewhere the verge of night's slow washing tide, somewhere the anchorage for the ship of heartache. So those who fought for freedom, like Faiz and D.C. Kamoli and many others, hope for a utopia, a country of happiness, of beauty, of pleasure, of joy. And what instead of which they got this divided country, drawn and rent by civil and religious strife. And that's the first poem of short excerpt from Faiz that captures the traumas of partition. The other poem is by an English poet, a very great English poet, W.H. Auden, who actually never visited this country. And yet here he is writing a poem about another Englishman, the judge called Cyril Ratcliffe, who was tasked by Mountbatten with drawing the boundary lines in Bengal and Punjab. In those two provinces, Cyril Ratcliffe, who had never come to India before, came in and drew the line. What will become Pakistan? What will become India? And after he left, Auden wrote a poem about Cyril Ratcliffe, and I'm just going to quote you a short excerpt. Shut up in a lonely mansion with police night and day. This is a description of Ratcliffe and how he drew those lines in the Punjab and in Bengal. I repeat, shut up in a lonely mansion with police night and day, patrolling the gardens to keep assassins away. He got down to work to the task of settling the fate of millions. The maps at his disposal were out of date, and the census returns almost certainly incorrect. But there was no time to check them, no time to inspect contested areas. The weather was frightfully hot, and a bout of dysentery kept him constantly on the trot. But in 7 weeks it was done. The frontier decided, a continent for better or worse divided. The next day, that is Ratcliffe, the next day after drawing this boundary, the next day he sailed for England, where he quickly forgot the case as a good lawyer must. Return he would not, afraid as he told his club that he might get shot. Now, one is a grim, bitter, sad poem, my friends. The other is a kind of sardonic, sarcastic, cynical poem by Auden. But look at how they capture the traumas and dilemmas of partition. Now, this is what literature can do for history. This is the first part of my talk. Literature as history. It can illuminate the past in telling ways. I spoke about poetry. Now let me say a little bit about novels.